1942, as Hollywood's most beautiful actress graces the silver screen. She rushes home each night to work on a secret weapon that could help defeat Hitler. The Navy would dismiss her invention as trivial. Today, that same technology powers the smartphone in your pocket. This is the untold story of Hedy Lamarr, the movie star who helped invent your Wi-Fi. Born Hedwig Eva Maria Kiesler in 1914 Vienna, Hedy grew up in a world of privilege and intellectual curiosity. Her Jewish father was a bank director, her mother a pianist, and young Hedy showed an uncanny interest in how things worked. By age 5, she had disassembled and reassembled her music box. By 10, she was asking questions about military technology that left adults baffled. But Vienna in the 1920s and 30s was changing, and so was Hedy's life. At 18, she starred in a controversial film that made her infamous across Europe. Escaping an unhappy marriage to an Austrian arms dealer with Nazi ties, she fled to London, then America. By 1938, she had reinvented herself as Hedy Lamarr, landing a contract with MGM Studios. The press called her the most beautiful woman in the world. But behind the glamorous facade, Hedy's mind never stopped working. In her Hollywood mansion, she set up an inventor's workshop. Between takes on set, she'd sketch designs on paper. The same precision that helped her craft perfect performances would soon lead to one of the 20th century's most overlooked innovations. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt like people judged you by your appearance rather than your abilities. Hedy's story might feel familiar. While the public saw a goddess of the silver screen, Hedy was fighting battles on multiple fronts. Hollywood pigeonholed her as nothing more than a pretty face. Studio executives laughed when she talked about her inventions. "Stick to acting, sweetheart," they'd say. But the greatest challenge came as World War II erupted. The same Nazi regime she'd fled in Europe was now threatening the world. Radio-guided torpedoes were sinking Allied ships at an alarming rate. The Germans could easily jam the single-frequency radio signals controlling these weapons. Hedy knew something had to be done. She'd learned about military technology during her first marriage, and now those memories sparked an idea. But who would listen to an actress? The beautiful face that opened doors in Hollywood became a barrier in the world of military innovation. She needed help to turn her idea into reality. That's when she met George Antheil, an avant-garde composer known for synchronizing player pianos. Together, they would create something revolutionary. If only the military would listen. Drop A in the comments if you're ready to hear how this unlikely duo changed the course of technology forever. Late at night, after filming Wrapped, Hedy's dining room became an inventor's paradise. She and George worked tirelessly on their breakthrough. Frequency hopping spread spectrum technology. The concept was brilliant in its simplicity. Instead of transmitting radio signals on a single frequency, easily jammed by enemies, their system would hop between 88 different frequencies, just like the notes on a piano. The frequency changes would be synchronized between the transmitter and receiver, making it virtually impossible for enemies to block the signal. They used piano roll techniques to create a mechanical system that could work in torpedoes. Think of it like a secret code between two pianos, playing an ever-changing melody that only they could follow. On August 11, 1942, U.S. Patent 2,292,387 was granted to Hedy Lamarr, her married name, and George Antheil. They donated their patent to the Navy, expecting their invention to help win the war. The technology was decades ahead of its time. So far ahead that even the military couldn't fully grasp its potential. Here's the mind-blowing part. This same concept now powers your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cell phone signals. Every time you stream this video, you're using an evolution of Hedy's invention. Take a moment to look at your phone. You're holding a piece of her legacy right now. The Navy's response to Hedy's invention was devastating. They shelved it. Military officials couldn't believe that an actress and a composer could create viable military technology. Some suggested she'd be more helpful selling war bonds with her famous face. The patents sat unused, eventually expiring in 1959 without earning Hedy a single dollar. She continued acting through the 1950s, but roles declined as Hollywood's obsession with youth left her behind. Personal struggles mounted. Multiple marriages ended in divorce. Failed plastic surgeries left her increasingly reclusive. The world still saw her as the beautiful face from the movies, while her greatest achievement gathered dust in patent office archives. She watched from the sidelines as telecommunications companies began using her frequency hopping concept in the 1980s, making billions without acknowledging her contribution. The woman who had given away her invention for the war effort couldn't afford her own phone bill. Most painful of all was the continued dismissal of her intelligence. In interviews, journalists asked about her beauty secrets, never her scientific achievement. When asked about this period later in life, Hedy simply said, "The brains of people are more interesting than the looks, I think." If you agree, hit that subscribe button for more forgotten genius stories. Recognition finally came in 1997, when the Electronic Frontier Foundation honored an aging Hedy with their Pioneer Award. She was 82. Though she didn't attend the ceremony, she remarked via phone, "It's about time." She died in 2000, having lived long enough to see her invention become fundamental to the digital age. Today, Hedy Lamarr's story resonates more powerfully than ever. Her frequency hopping technology is used billions of times every day, enabling the wireless world we live in. The US military finally adopted her concept during the Cuban Missile Crisis, 2 decades after rejecting it. In 2014, she was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Perhaps most importantly, her story has become a rallying cry against prejudice in science and technology. Every time someone is underestimated because of their appearance or background, Hedy's story reminds us, genius doesn't conform to stereotypes. The next world-changing invention could come from anyone, anywhere. Look around you. The wireless signals connecting our modern world are Hedy's endless echo. Her vindication written in invisible waves of energy. Not bad for a girl they said was just a pretty face. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like and subscribe for more untold stories of forgotten geniuses who changed our world. And remember, nothing is ever quite what it seems on the surface. Sometimes, the most beautiful face can hide the most brilliant mind.